If you're a Vikings fan, unless you've been living under a rock, you knew this was always a possibility. The possibility being defensive coordinator Brian Flores leaving Minnesota to take a head coaching job elsewhere. And we've talked about this very subject on this channel many times, providing qualifiers for our own selfish reasons. Let's just call it what it is for why Brian Flores would want to stay with the Vikings. He clearly looks happy. He's having much success as the DC. And after everything you went through in Miami, do you really want to subject yourself to that level of scrutiny again? Can't put a price on happiness. Well, alas, Brian Flores talked about this very subject with ESPN's Adam Schefter on the Adam Schefter podcast, saying, quote, I think a lot of people view the Miami experience as if I see it as all negative. I really don't. I think it was a great experience for me and my family. There's so much that I learned during my time there that's made me a much, much better coach today. Better in a lot of areas. And just in reflecting on that time, there's things that obviously I would like to do better, but there's also a lot of things that I would continue to implement. But it wasn't all negative. Obviously, there was some things that I would have done better, but I thought it was a great experience and I've really, really come out of it in a positive way. And I'm excited about where I am now. I really learned a lot from it. So not only did he put the signal out there, he also elaborated, hey, everything you think you know about me or have heard about me, that's in the past. I'm a changed man now, onward and upward. I do believe that the perception of him, Brian Flores, and his treatment towards young rookie second year quarterbacks is going to follow him until he gets to a new team as a head coach. And the only way he can wipe that slate clean is that new team does nothing but sing his praises. And this goes back to the belief system, one's inner belief system versus consequences. You have to weigh them all the time. So, Brian Flores, for example, old school, hard ass football coach, my way or the highway. I understand that it worked in the past. That's his personal belief system. But in this new age of athletes and the way they want to be coached and how you're going to get the best out of them, that old way of thinking isn't going to work anymore. And yet, the way that he coached Tua, and we can call him soft or whatever all we want to, but the consequences has followed Brian Flores to where everybody sees him as a mean guy and he's going to ruin a young quarterback. And I do believe that he has truly learned from and has grown from his experience in Miami to where he's a better coach today, not just providing lip service to Adam Schefter in order to give the appearance that he's a better coach today. At one point in time, as a driver, my belief system was, hey man, if you're going to be an ass to me, I'm going to balance out the universe and be an ass to you. So if you cut me off or you're aggressively tailgating me, I'm going to flip off the bird. I'm going to mother F this. I'm going to lay on the horn, maybe cut you off back. But then it dawned on me that, you know what? I've seen enough news stories of situations like this and how it can quickly escalate. And even though I think I'm right in the situation where this guy is an a-hole, is it worth putting myself, my family, other people in danger? No, it's not. So now, if you cut me off, you aggressively tailgate me, I'll just say, all right, whatever, man, and I'll get out the way. No problem. Shout out to the drivers in Hartford, Connecticut. Boy, I hate y'all with a passion. Every single one of you. But I digress. For the Vikings, hopefully they've assigned well ahead of time an unofficial understudy in the event that Brian Flores moves on and you can promote from within. Maybe guys such as Lance Bennett, quality control over the defense, Marcus Dixon, defensive line coach, Mike Saravo, linebackers coach, somebody. Or you take your chances from the outside and vet the open market for a defensive coordinator replacement. But let's rip the Band-Aid off. Brian Flores is gone. He's going to be a head coach somewhere else. And for 2024, the rest of this season, let's go out with a bang. My prediction, as far as jobs that are going to be available for Brian Flores, the Jets and the Saints, they've already fired their head coaches mid-season. But other jobs I can see being available at season's end, the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Giants, and I don't even think that's right for Brian Daboll to be on the hot seat. He's a damn good coach. We saw what he did over there in Buffalo with Josh Allen. If anything, GM Joe Shane needs to be on the hot seat, but that's a different topic for another day. The Cowboys and the Bears. And then I'm going to add two filters to that. The first filter being the teams that either have or are going to have a rookie quarterback or a second-year guy, where that perception is going to follow Flores. I believe those teams are going to shut off Flores from even interviewing him in the first place. Because why? Hey, we saw what you did over there in Miami with Tua. We don't want that happening with our young guy, who's going to be what we believe our new franchise quarterback. Those teams, the Bears, the Giants, the Raiders. I think you can cross them off. The second filter is a messy organization. Brian Flores already turned down last year the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job because at the time, that was just a whole ass mess. Good for them. They've turned it around. But he wants to go to, I believe, a situation where it's a good fit. No sort of drama attached. Those teams we can take out, the Jets, the Cowboys, and the Saints with their cap situation, where Spotrac has them at over $77 million over the cap in 2025. So my official prediction, I believe Brian Flores will be the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence will be going into his 5th year, already on his 2nd contract, and 5 years in the league or going into your 5th year, at that point, he is who he is. You're not going to be responsible for developing a guy like Trevor Lawrence. You're going to be responsible for managing Trevor Lawrence. No drama attached to the Jacksonville organization. This, to me, just makes too much sense. As far as what the Vikings do at DC in 2025, we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there. Until then, 2024, let's ride.